This is the Dodgers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Dodgers Postcast. Good evening. I am Pete Fox on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. I've been covering sports in LA since 1997. No, that's not right. 2007. I worked for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio during that period of time. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Enough with boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5 Hour Energy shots. Go to 5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. Well, the Dodgers figure out a way. That was interesting, a little scary, and probably more than anything, super unlikely. I did not see that coming, especially when you run Michael Kopech out there and back him up with the gas can Blake Trinan. I was like, this is not going to turn out well for the boys in blue. But they figured out a way. 2-1 the final. They become the third team this season in well over 2,000 games to win a game when walking 10 or more. The Dodgers were the victim of one of those games. I feel much worse for the Giants and their fans tonight, because how do you walk 10, get 10 walks, free passes, and lose a game 2-1? And would they have one hit? Yeah, they only had one hit. So that is a tough loss. The Giants postcaster tonight is fired up like I was a couple of nights ago, undoubtedly. So Yamamoto also nearly did something that is very, very rare. I don't think it's been done. What did I say? Let me go back and look at it. I want to say if he'd have pitched through the 6th, he would have been only one of 2 pitchers in the last 125 years to throw 6 or more innings, allowing 0-1 runs in 3 consecutive games. As his last 3 outings have been fantastic. Tonight he was good too, but not great because he walked 6, a career high. That's unbelievable. He struck out 7. What a weird game. Just whatever. We'll take it. By the way, the other one to do that is Padre pitcher Dylan Cease is the only other pitcher to go 3 consecutive starts and allow 0-1 run with at least 6 innings. So Yamamoto just shy of that because he only went 5 1/3 because he had 108 pitches because of all of the freaking walks. Tonight, manufactured 1 run on a fielder's choice, and then Freddie Freeman knocked 1 in. So bottom of the lineup didn't have to step up tonight like they did against the Phils. They were 6 of 9 with a batting average over 300, driving in 9 runs. Not 6 of 9, 6 through 9 rather. Batting average over 300 against the Phillies in that 3-game series, and they drove in 9 runs. Tonight, Shohei Ohtani, a couple of big hits.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Although he didn't score. Oh, yeah, he did. Sorry. He scored the second run. Yeah, that's right. 2 hits, single and a double. Shohei was locked in tonight. Big hit there in the 8th. Not that it meant much, but because they left him stranded. But the first one was important because that made it 2-1. And turns out to be the game-winning run. So we can do this now too.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
All about the 6th inning. Shohei launches one off the wall for a double this close to going out. Rortvedt goes to third. Then he scores on a fielder's choice from Mookie Betts. The infield was pulled in. Mookie hit one kind of off the end of the bat. Adames made a fantastic play. One of two tonight, if not more. But he made a fantastic play, threw a strike to Bailey at home, and Bailey dropped it. So that allowed Mookie to score. It allowed Rortvedt to score and give the Dodgers a 1-0 advantage. Then Freddie got one right in his wheelhouse. Well, not exactly in his wheelhouse, because his wheelhouse is inside and down, inside of the plate and down. This one was a little bit out, just basically over the heart of the plate, and he drove it right up the middle. Freddie is such a technical hitter that when he gets a pitch in his zone, it's almost, I mean, a sure thing that he's going to get a base hit, or at least hit it hard. That hot zone for him is well over 300 when he gets something that he likes. But obviously, there are times when you hit it right at a guy, and there's nothing you can do about that. But tonight, drove in a run there for the game-winning RBI. Shohei Ohtani scoring the game-winning run. What else happened in that inning? Freddie got one over in the wheelhouse. It goes up the middle. Ohtani scored Ohtani. Then Max came up, who has a .429 batting average with runners in scoring position since May. He popped up, and then Teo, with an 0-2 count, hammered one into the hole between short and third, and that's where Willy Adames made just a spectacular play, flashing some leather, a web gem there. Just catching the ball was a minor miracle, and then he threw like a 12 hopper over to first base to get Teo to end the inning. So that was, you got to tip your cap there. That was just a flat out fantastic play from Willy Adames. But then in the seventh, Dave Roberts, good old Doc, had to make it interesting. Brings in Michael Kopech, who's still trying to find it. He's got his blind man's cane out, trying to find the strike zone. Walks two guys, gets one out, and they pull him. And here comes the gas can, who walks another to load the bases, and then another to give the Giants their only run. The 10th walk of the game for the Dodgers. But to his credit, his video game slider did strike out Adames and Chapman. So he got out of the jam, without a doubt. I don't know Evan, what is your deal with me needing to debate you? This is not a debate show. We don't do debates here. What is with this? Pete Fox needs to debate me live on the air. It will peak content. Why? What if I don't want to debate you? We don't do debates. Bruce is like, Pete, got a big fan. This even is a clown. I don't quite understand that. But yeah, Evan, kind of a clown, but I don't understand what this debating thing is about. I don't debate. I don't need to debate you. We're not doing debates. It's no. Again, like I said, that's a lose-lose for me. Like there's just nothing that's all about you. If you want to get on YouTube, you're more than welcome, right? This is a free platform. Set up your own thing here. By the way, all these graphics, they come from a free service called Canva, right? We pay for it, obviously, and the guys who do it are not me, because they know how to do all this fancy stuff. But yeah, we make it look more professional than most people, but you're more than welcome to go fire up your own YouTube channel and debate all you want. We're not doing debates. I don't want to debate you with all of your illogic. I want to spend how boring would it be for me to spend a half an hour yelling at you with all of your ridiculous concepts and theories that the Dodgers don't deserve to be World Series champions from 2020, and that they cheated against the Red Sox and against the Houston Astros when it was the other way around. Like there is no benefit, for me to debate you. We know what your concepts and your theories are, and they're all complete hogwash. So you can keep throwing it up in the chat all you want, but it's not going to happen. Right. Manuel says there's nothing to debate. Right. What are we debating? Whether the Yankees are better than the Dodgers? I don't, some days they are, some days they aren't. At the end of last year, one thing we all know for sure is that they were not. The Dodgers were better. I don't know if you remember that, but they won that series 4-1. So anyway, yes. Thanks, Bruce. This is the Dodgers postcast. Right. Anyway, let's get back to the game because there is more stuff to get into. I don't know what is going on with Dave Roberts and these two guys, Michael Kopech and Blake Trinan. I don't understand the man bro love fest for these two guys. Why does he keep running them out there? That was another high leverage situation. I'm okay when it's 5, 6, 7, 8, nothing. But one run, a 2-1 ball game, or it was 2-0 when Kopech came in again. Trinan walked in a run. What is he trying to prove? Last night it worked out okay for Tanner Scott. I guess that's the mindset. Well, we still got, what do we got? 10 more to go now. Well, maybe they'll find it. And maybe his philosophy is this. It only takes one. It only takes one. He goes out there and dominates. He's back. I don't think it works for either one of them like that. Right. And Tanner Scott for that matter. Like Tanner Scott was good last night, but do we think he'll be that good next time out? Who knows? Again, that was a comfortable lead, not high leverage. I think it is a completely different scenario if Tanner Scott comes in last night and it's a 1 or a 2-run lead or maybe a tie ball game. So I don't get it. It is head scratching and frustrating all at the same time. And it's just kind of a little gut wrenching, to be honest. What are we doing here? Fortunately, he brought Vesia in at the right time to close the game out, and it worked. The Dodgers walked 10 and win the game 2-1. Unbelievable, but we'll take it. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. We appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Caffeine's just got a flavor upgrade. 5-Hour Energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins and nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 crashes. What I love most is how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot. You can take it anywhere, and it gets that boost when you need it. Like on the golf course. Talked a lot about that. They had a cool golf giveaway going on. I think that has come to an end. But, the point is that quite frequently, when it's a hot day out there, had a couple of beers maybe, when you get to 14, 15, you run out of gas. You're just like, ugh. Happened to my buddy just the other day. No beers, by the way. We played an entire round of golf. 4 dudes, not one beer. I did have a non-alcoholic beer, but no beer. It was the weirdest thing. I told my wife and she didn't believe me. She's like, get out of here. You guys didn't have any beers? I'm like, not one. No alcohol at all. But my buddy got to like 15 and 16 maybe. Just ran out of gas, started flailing balls off to the right. And he's like, I'm tired. I'm just out of gas. And I was like, 5-Hour Energy, buddy. That's what you need. Enough of the boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give you your caffeine a flavor upgrade. Go to 5hourenergy.com or Amazon today to learn more. Again, 5-Hour Energy shots. Get the favorites you love or be bold and try something new in store or online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. Tonight's episode also brought to you by Monarch Money. I like knowing where all my money is and all my investments are and what's coming in and what's going out. And that's where Monarch Money comes in, because most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's the 401ks, the properties, the investments, the dividends, all that stuff. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why Monarch Money is out there. That's where it comes in to help you out. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean and easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. I always tell the story that my bank at some point did something similar to this, but not as in depth. They just gave you a little pie chart about where all your money was going out. And I remember going, I can't believe I spent that much money on gas. But it's that kind of stuff that you need to know, because then you can budget better and go, I need to drive less or find cheaper gas or whatever. So this kind of financial planning is very, very helpful to your long-term wealth. So don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com. Put it in your browser and you'll get half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB. All right, Dodgers scrape one out, an unlikely win. Always good for the ego, good for the psyche. Padres off tonight. Dodgers gain a half game. Now up 3 in the West, and the magic number is down to 6. And probably the biggest story of the day, which is both sad and, kind of heartwarming, I guess, to a certain extent. Clayton Kershaw announces his retirement. And I think a lot of us were kind of scratching our head going, he's pitched pretty well this year. Does he think he's still got something in the tank to come back next year? He could, but I think right now is a perfect time for him to call it a career and hang it up. Because this is a good year for him, and he's been healthy most of the year. So 18 years under the belt, multiple Cy Youngs, 1 MVP, multiple World Series. It's been a fantastic Hall of Fame career, and it's not over yet. Like, he'll continue to pitch through the remainder of this season, but then that'll be it for Clayton Kershaw. So I think most people are probably relieved to hear that news at this point, that we're not waiting till the very last minute wondering, is he coming back again? Are we going to have to go through this again? But the fact of the matter is that he has made this decision along with I got my King shirt on today in honor of Anze Kopitar calling it a career as well. Multiple cups for him in LA, and he spent his whole entire career with the Kings. Fantastic dude. Always enjoyed covering him. Easy to deal with, easy to talk to, friendly guy. On the other hand, Kershaw, not a bad guy. Just he was challenging. Let's put it that way. He's gotten a little bit easier to deal with as he's gotten a little bit older, but he was just, at times he was prickly. Let's put it that way. A little difficult. Especially if he didn't pitch well, right? If it was a bad day for him, you were like, we got to go talk to Kershaw, and he's not going to be easy to deal with. He's going to be a little salty. And there were times when he would win and pitch well, and you'd ask a question that he didn't like, and he gets salty, like, what are you trying to say? Professional athletes, mostly baseball players, are very, very defensive for whatever reason. They're always like trying to read into what questions you're asking. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. I'm just asking you a question, right? I'm trying to get a good answer out of you. So that is my remembrance of Clayton Kershaw. Wasn't terrible, wasn't awful, but again, a little prickly, a little salty most of the time. But I've heard over the last few years that has softened. He's become, Grandpa Kershaw, if you will. All right, 2-1 the final today. Logan Webb had a nice outing for the Giants. Suffers the loss. He's now 14-11. He went 7, gave up just 1 earned on 4 hits, striking out 5. That's a tough beat for him. And quite honestly, Yamamoto has to be surprised that he didn't lose that one, right? Walking 6. Dreyer came in after that, 2/3 of an inning. We talked about Kopech and Trinan. Bonda for an inning, 1K, 12 pitches. Vesia had the 9th. 2 Ks, 11 pitches. He was just bringing the heat, right? How much did you love that? Vesia in the 9th strikes out the first pinch hitter. Then Encarnacion came up. He struck him out on fastballs, just bringing the heat, firing it down Main Street. Here it is if you could hit it, and they couldn't. That way, the final out came on a fly out to left, I think, and that was it. I just have a lot of I have a lot of faith in both of those guys, Vesia and Bonda. We just have to find somebody else to put on the upper rungs of the trust tree, because right now it's Vesia and Bonda and Dreyer, but that's it. Like, really, Tanner Scott, he's maybe at the middle. And the gas can and Kopech have to be at the bottom of that trust tree. I'm assuming the top of the trust tree is better than the bottom. I'm not exactly sure how that works out, but they talk about, being high up on the trust tree. So I guess the higher you are, the safer you are. So there you go. 2-1 the final today. Dodgers now 86-67. Like 3 back, I think, of the Phils right now in that National League race for playoff seeding. So, of course, the Brewers are the top team in all of baseball. They have 94 wins. The Phillies have 91. The Dodgers are behind the Cubbies, so they're 4 right now. They're the 4 seed, I believe. Actually, no, they would be the 3 seed because they'd be winning the division, and the Cubs would come in as a wild card. Cubs and Brewers have already clinched. Of course, the Phillies have wrapped up the division. That happened at Dodger Stadium. They celebrated. So the Dodgers are currently 4th, but being the division leader would put them as the 3 seed. So in order to move up, they'd have to catch the Phils, who they're 5 games behind with, 10 to play, maybe 11 at this point. So long road to hoe. Tough. That's uphill sledding to be sure. But these games against the Giants will hopefully help. And then, they finish up against the Seattle Mariners, and who's in between that. Let's look real quick as we wrap up tonight's episode of the Dodger Postcast. Don't forget to check out the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast, hosted by Travis Rogers, Monday through Friday. That's an in-depth look of what's going on in the Dodgers universe. We come on here on the Postcast and give you instant reaction and break it down when it is over. So tomorrow, and so 4 against the Giants. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then off on Monday, they have Arizona in the desert for 3, and then on to Seattle to face the Mariners. So Kershaw will start Friday, tomorrow. That'll be his final start at Dodger Stadium. Are we gonna be sad about that? Probably a little bit. I don't know if it'll, evoke any tears, but there'll be some sadness for sure. After 18 years of pitching at Dodger Stadium, that's his final start there in the regular season. Probably will get a postseason start as well, but who knows? Maybe not. He's what is he? He'd probably at best the 3rd, probably more like 4th, right? After Yamamoto, Snell, Glasnow. Yeah, he's probably 4th. So may not get a postseason start. Who knows? We'll see. But yes, today he announced his retirement, and he will ride off into the sunset, hopefully with a long playoff run and potentially another ring. But again, as I've said, the bullpen's got to get better. That's the bottom line. I'm not off of that stance just yet. The bullpen has to improve if this Dodger team wants to make a deep run and try to defend their World Series championship. Because Bonda and Vesia can't do it all. They're going to have to find somebody else to climb up that trust tree, to be sure. 2-1 the final tonight. They get the win in spite of 10 walks. Again, only the 3rd team all season to win a game, walking 10 or more. So kudos to them for grinding this one out. Tomorrow night, first pitch, 7:10. Again, Kershaw versus Robbie Ray at the Ravine. It's on Apple TV. We'll be here right afterwards to break it down. I am Pete Fox. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Appreciate the comments. And no, Evan, I am not debating you. So you can keep asking, but it's not going to happen. Have a good night, guys. Take care. We'll talk to you.